Hello, my name is Mike Johnson, and I'm taking you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2020 Thor Ace 30.2 bunk bed floor plan motorhome. This is a very nice, almost looks like brand new, pretty much. Can't think of anything that looks used on it. It looks new inside and out. It's very clean. Bunk bed. Bunk beds are denoted by these two windows in the bunk bed area. This has a glossy mirror finish exterior. It's not faded and oxidized. You can see reflections in the finish of the motorhome. Now, Thor Ace is an acronym. It stands for Class A, Class C evolution. So it's kind of supposed to be the evolution between a Class A motorhome and a Class C motorhome. It has the best advantages of both. As we walk over here, we're looking now at the floor plan of the motorhome. Here's the perspective of the floor plan from the side. The entry door, center mounted entry door, and the floor plan. Up on the roof of this one, we have two 13.5 roof air conditioners and the bigger, more powerful 5500 watt generator. Also up on the roof, we have weatherproof vent covers and a 200 watt solar power plant. Those are up on the roof of this motorhome. As we walk 360-degree circles around this motorhome and flyovers of the roof and the awnings, we're showing you underneath in the cargo compartments in this video. Starting with on top, this little dome on the very front, that is a Wi-Fi booster and TV antenna. The second bump on the roof is the max air vent cover that it came with. The third bump is the front AC. The two smaller bumps, those are also weatherproof vent covers. Weatherproof vent covers are a big deal, because if you own your motorhome for some period of time and the wind rips off one of the vent lids, or you leave it open, or sometimes if you have high winds, they can actually vibrate open by themselves in the wind, even driving down the road. So we put weatherproof vent covers on all the RVs that we sell here. I have my own RV service center, parts, sales, and service. The company is a buyer's choice, and the website is mybestcar.com. So if you want to see hundreds of other RVs that we've sold, they're still on the website. I really like the 30.2 floor plan, which is what this is, for several reasons. One reason, this is the shortest bunk bed motorhome you can get, pretty much, and still be in an A-class motorhome. With this motorhome, you can camp at the beach, you can camp in the national park, in the state park, and the motorhome will still fit, because it's basically a 30-footer. It's actually shorter than some C-class motorhomes, but it's an A-class. So A-class have a lot more room inside and a lot more cargo storage. This one has premium features, side view cameras, rear view cameras. These are called frameless windows. They're flush mounted windows. You don't see those ugly frames that fade over time. You have your water heater here, your coach heater, your city water connection. On the back, the Thor Ace comes with an 8,000 pound trailer hitch. So you can actually tow up to 8,000 pounds with your trailer hitch. You have a roof access ladder. You have a gigantic cargo storage area, which is much larger than... A big complaint I hear from other people and other dealers, in fact, is they see a lot of floor plans, there's not even room to put golf clubs. You could put folding bicycles in this compartment. folding chairs, tables, all sorts of things would fit in here. This one even has a spare tail light for some reason. They may have replaced it because of a bad bulb or on the LED tail lights. They're lighted compartments. They're clean, roto-molded compartments. They have drain plugs. If you happen to want to wash them out, you can open the drain plug and drain them. But it's super clean. You have a fresh water fill point here. This white stuff, that's wax. This RV's been waxed. Looks outstanding. You have zero embarrassment factor. All kinds of hookups here. You've got hoses, you've got a whole RV water filter, you've got sewer hose in two styles. This valve here is to drain your fresh water tank so the fresh water doesn't get old in the coach. You've got big 19 5-inch tires. That's the thing about a C-Class. C-Class, and I'm going to show you a comparison of a C-Class motorhome for a second here. A C-Class motorhome is built on a van chassis, so they don't have a very good turning radius because they're designed to be a van. But an A-Class motorhome like this one is on the Ford F53 chassis, so it can turn circles inside of the radius of the smaller C-Class motorhome. You've got the bigger 19.5 tires for a smoother ride. You have more rubber between your RV and the road. This one has valve stem extenders, so you can check your tire pressures before you go on a trip. Make sure they're all at least 80 before you go off on your trip, so you don't have tire problems. If you have any concerns, always check your tire pressures. If you're running at 80 psi, you're probably not going to have any tire problems. Now, I have a lot of people have concerns about the age of tires. Motorhome tires are not like trailer tires. If you have experience with trailers and trailer tires failing more than once or whatever, those trailer tires are thin wall tires. These are not. These are 14 ply super sturdy tires. Motorhomes are on 14 ply tires, and I've seen motorhomes tires last in excess of 15 years and still be the original tires. These are not that old, but on these Goodyear tires, if you take care of your tires, you keep them inflated to 80 psi, and the biggest thing is people don't keep their tires inflated, these could easily last 10 years. It's about $2,000 for a set of tires for one of these, but it can cost more if you go high end and go to the wrong tire shop. But it's totally unnecessary to put tires at this point. But at some point you would want to change your tires. Other things about the Thor Ace that are pretty cool. If I open this compartment, we are in the patio area. We have a giant patio awning because there's only one slide out on the left side, which is a full wall slide out. We have a large 20 or 21 foot patio awning. You have a lot of storage area. This is a gas barbecue connect. This is an outside television, so you can flip this out. It's on a magnetic mount, so you can pull it out and point it in different directions for better viewing. When you're ready to put it away, you just kind of lift up the wires and reconnect the magnetic mount. Very nice, with a sound bar underneath. You have a sound bar, so you can, this is a Bluetooth sound bar. On the older Aces, they had a Bluetooth gizmo inside the bedroom. They went away from that because people didn't like it that much. This is better. There's a Bluetooth sound bar. You can pair it right with your smartphone. You could be sitting here in the patio listening to the music on your sound bar from your smartphone or from other sources. You can be playing it off the TV. You can hook up a video game console, have little kids out here playing their video games, chilling at the campground, if that's what you want to do. We're gonna go inside right away, take a look inside the 30.2. So as we go in the 2020 Thor Ace 30.2, we're gonna go inside and notice this has a full wall slide out. It's like having 3 slides in one. You have the living room slide, the kitchen slide, and the bedroom slide all in one slide. So from the driver's seat back all the way to the back of the coach, when you open the slide, it opens big, which means you have a lot of room to move from front to back when the slide is open. When the slide is closed, this aisle is closed off, but you have a Jack and Jill style bathroom, so you can still pass through to the restroom, to the bedroom, and you can even sleep on the bed if you had to with the slides closed. For example, if you were going to use this RV as a guest house at your house for people to stay when they come and visit on the holidays, you could do that. Or if you were staying at a non-traditional campground where you weren't comfortable to open the slide for some reason, you can still sleep on the queen bed. The bunk beds are actually still accessible, although the little kids will have to climb in and out if the slide was closed, whereas if the slide is open, it's easy access. And each one has a light, but even with the slides closed, you can still get in or out of the bunk bed. Up in the front, there's a security vault, and that's a unique thing to the Thor Ace motorhome. So up in the front, we have an electric front bunk, and these close and open in a unique way. So if I turn on the light here and I lower the front bunk from the switch, which you can take the key out. So if you put some valuable, your burqa bags and your guns up in the front storage compartments, and you want to leave the vehicle unattended, you can take the key out and close the front bunk. And nobody's going to know that you have something valuable stashed in the front compartments. Or if you don't have anything valuable to stow in there, you could just put pillows and bedding up there so that your family members have easy access to the bedding when they make the bed. That's something unique. Only the Thor Ace has that capability. So there is a ladder over here in the bunk bed, which you can use to access some of these bunks. There's plenty of storage up here, and then at the press of a button, it will close back up and go back up into the ceiling. So you have room to sleep 2 people there, and they can sleep up there even if the slides are open or closed. It's much more comfortable if you open the slides like at a campground. But again, you could use this in your side yard of your house, possibly. This is secured, and it's something you can take the key away, and whatever you stash up there is locked inside. This is your dinette. It's a dream dinette, so it turns into a bed. I'm just going to include a picture of it as a bed so that my video doesn't get too long. This is what it looks like as a bed. This is what it looks like as a dinette. And it's as simple as flipping this lever and pushing it down like an elevator and readjusting the cushions. On this side, we have a jackknife sofa. And I need to point something out for you. A lot of RVs are having trouble with sun sensitivity of their upholstery. Now these cushions come out, but they also help it make into a bed. This is a jackknife sofa. There's a couple seat belts here, there's a couple seat belts there, there's seat belts, there's easily 6 seat belts, but you can have more seat belts if you need more seat belts. It's possible to add additional seat belts. You could have 3 here, you could have 2 there, but from the manufacturer, they don't put extra seat belts there. This is an Ace. If you needed something short, this is pretty short. This fits into a lot of campgrounds that larger motorhomes don't fit into. But if you needed something similar to this that was larger and longer, that would probably be like a Hurricane 34J or a Windsport Thor Windsport 34J. This is almost the same floor plan. They even have, I think it's a 34E or 30E or something like that, C-Class. This is much nicer than the C-Class, my goodness. Something nice that they have in here too are deep cup holders. So your big cups will fit in the cup holders. That's a big change from earlier coaches. On other coaches, you put your big tumbler in there and it's wobbling around and spilling and lids falling off. These cup holders support 4 tumblers in the front. So you could have your caffeinated beverage tumbler, your water tumbler for both people in the front seat. These ones as well are larger cup holders, which would support tumblers or cans or something like that. So depending on your drink preference. Now this little thing here is for the front table. So these chairs, I want to keep the video not too long. These chairs swivel, and then you put the table in the center, and then you can dine here. So for example, if you turned your dream dinette into a bed, you just have those 2 tables facing each other, and you can make breakfast and serve it at the front chairs. It's a really nice configuration. Front tables weren't always available. These are really nice front table. Oh, and in the dinette, people ask me about this a lot, there is storage under the dinette. This side has heater ducting. This side has storage. This little black thing here is a latch tether. So if you wanted to put a baby car seat in here to transport a young one, a really small little kiddo, you can secure their car seat with the seat belt and the latch anchor point. That's what that is. So that's something new. It's got a lot of storage in here. Giant storage compartments on the right with your video, DVD, or Blu-ray player that can go right here. You have one right there right now. HDMI cables that go out to the TVs. So it supports satellite TV as well. This is your kitchen area. You have a cooktop with a glass countertop extender. All of this RV has been professionally cleaned. You've got your microwave. You've got more storage here. You've actually got an oven. So you can bake in this motorhome. Not all motorhomes have an oven. This one does. Some people, that's a big deal, because if you go to a national park, they may have something called quiet time at 8 p.m. In a lot of national park RV campgrounds that are actually within the national park may not have full hookups. So you're what they call primitive camping. So you might not have water, sewer, or electrical coming from the campground when you stay in a national park. In that case, your RV acts like if it was a big tent that has its own restroom and a water system. So if you wanted to bake or cook in the national park campground, a primitive campground, you can go in to your oven and bake using the propane, or you can go out in the barbecue pit and barbecue outside, or if you have a portable grill, you can cook with that. But they may not allow you to use your microwave after 8 p.m. because you can't run the generator or plug in. However, if you go to a full hookup campground, like a luxury campground, which there's many of those, like KOA campgrounds, Good Sam campgrounds, all different campgrounds in highly desirable locations other than a national or state park, those generally have full hookups, and it won't matter because you'll be plugged in using AC and running on the provided electrical power. So people, this is a 50 amp coach. So the electrical connector looks exactly like the one for a Tesla for fast charging. So actually, if you had a Tesla and you brought it with you to campground, the plug is the same from the Tesla charger to the RV connector. As we go to the bedroom, we have a nice queen size bed with nightstands on each side and a lot of room to walk around the bed on both sides. Some motorhomes, they're shorter and you can't get around the bed, but this one you can. So I can go all the way around. I'm walking on my 2 feet around the bed. I have the bedroom TVs. These are right now getting over-the-air digital broadcast. You can hook up a satellite if you want, but Here in the city, we get 150 channels, so we don't need satellite to see TV if you want TV. There are USB ports that are powered stashed everywhere, and 110 volt outlets all scattered around. Next to the bed, there's a USB port right there. There's a USB port right there. 110 volt power, 12 volt power. If you take a little mini 12 volt inverter, you can power your laptop from the RV battery and do laptop computer or iPad Pro or whatever. You have enough power from here to power a laptop using the mini inverter. 110 volt if you're at a full hookup campground, or using the generator, which probably you don't want to do at night. You have your bedroom AC control. I would like to point out, this is the 30.2 floor plan Thor Ace. Most Thor Ace motorhomes only have 30 amp power and 1 AC, but this has got 50 amp power with 2 ACs and the bigger, better, quieter generator. So it's a huge difference to have the 5500 watt generator compared with a 4000 watt generator and 2 powerful rooftop air conditioners to keep you cool here in California or anywhere that it gets hot or humid at night or in the daytime. 2 ACs are better than 1. You also have this fantastic fan, which is a quiet fan, ventilates the whole cabin. If you're staying up in the mountains and it's going to get down to like 61 outside, you can crack open your windows from the bottom, this twist, and open the windows a crack, turn on this quiet fan, and it'll cause a cross flow ventilation. You open the window in the bedroom, you get a nice little breeze going through the coach and all the heat going to the outside. You also have a vent over the kitchen and a vent over the restroom, and these vents have weatherproof vent covers. So if I shovel my camera up there in the roof vent, you don't see the outside. You see the weatherproof vent cover grills. And what that means is if you accidentally left the vent open when you store your motorhome, you don't have to worry about water coming in or snow or anything else, because you have a weatherproof vent cover to protect the interior of the coach. Now, when I showed you the roof, this has solar. The solar charge controller is here in the bedroom, and then the solar is charging the coach right now. Now, I will say the solar is putting power into the fuse block, and that's feeding out to the electrical accessories. Also, we had just happened to be plugged in to shore power, so that's also feeding the coach, but we're not taking as much energy from shore power, so we're using less landline electricity because the solar is on. So during the day, this coach uses less electricity because the solar is operating to power things, less shore electricity and more solar. So you have dual source to prevent dead batteries and things like that. Now we're in the bedroom. As you see, there's the bed, and in the bedroom cabinet is your front table and table leg. Now this is a nice bed. It actually has a foam, brand new mattress topper, foam, memory foam topper, brand new. So you can get in this coach, you can camp in it tonight. You don't have to worry about cooties in washing everything because it's been professionally cleaned. You can put on your own sheets that you feel comfortable with, but you could sleep in this coach tonight. You don't have to worry about COVID or cooties or anything else. It's been professionally cleaned and gone through completely. This has not been at RV shows or anything like that. It's clean. When we open up this cabinet at your house, look under the sink, see if it looks nice and clean on the bottom, or is it all scratched up. This one is nice and clean on the bottom. It's not all worn out or abused. This Ace has a stainless steel large kitchen sink, fully operational water, with a spray rinse one for washing your dishes. The water's operational, it's been sanitized, but you should always sanitize it yourself so that you know when it was done and it was done. So don't drink the water in any RV unless you personally know that it's sanitized and safe to drink. We did sanitize it, but that's something that you should be responsible for yourself. You don't trust anybody else. And so don't drink the water from an RV. Drink bottled water when you're on an RV, unless you know for a fact that your water tanks were sanitized and you know about that. Behind the cooking area is a glass tile backsplash. So this is easy to clean. This is not just wallpaper. Some of the earlier Thor motor coaches only had pretend backsplash. It was like a sticker, but this is actual glass tile backsplash, and that keeps it easy to clean in the kitchen area. Bunks have private curtains. The bunks have their own TV installed in each bunk, their own PowerPoint. They can use iPads, they can use the bunks. Both bunks have their own TVs that get over the air channels or have DVD players in them so it can watch movies on the TV. So the kids can bring their own DVDs and watch their own movies on their TVs. LED lights, all of the lights in here are LED. They use very minimal amount of electricity. So kitchen, sleeping, bath. So this has a midship toilet, professionally cleaned. You have storage. You have wall switches that little short people that are young can operate, or old people who have less mobility and are more difficult to reach the ceiling can turn the lights on and off. Storage here, medicine cabinet here, storage here. Thor Ace is known to have this little compartment here, so if you have pets, they didn't have pets in here before, but you could put dog water or cat water and cat food and dog food in there so your little pets can eat if you have pets. We have a glass enclosure for the shower with these sliding roller doors. These are glass. These are not plastic. That's glass shower enclosure. This is a very nice shower massage spray rinse wand. All the water system has been tested. There are no leaks. Everything is working really well. And LED lighting in the bathroom. All the LED lighting uses very little power. The solar by itself probably produces enough power to recharge the batteries from any LED lighting that you use over the nighttime, even if you were dry camping. This has in the kitchen absorption refrigerator, which is very energy efficient. So the solar can replace any power that this RV uses in a 24-hour period. The solar more than makes up for it. So if you left the refrigerator on, your batteries wouldn't go dead. The solar will replenish them at a rate faster than what the refrigerator uses, even if you're not plugged in. This refrigerator does use propane, so if you're not plugged in, you're going to be using 12-volt power plus propane. Now the propane you may have to periodically refill. During the summer, it'll last a really, really long time. If you want to know what your levels are, you have your gray tank, your black tank, your freshwater tank, your battery voltage, and your propane level, which is full right now. You can start and stop your generator from right here. You can extend the slide. Now, save this video. This is different for a 2020. On a 2020, in order to operate the slide, the engine must be running. On older years, the engine had to be off. So if you're going to operate the slide, make certain that this door is closed and no conflict exists with anything affecting your slides. And then you must start the engine to operate the slide. On this coach, the engine must be running to operate the leveling jacks or the slide out. On older years, the engine had to be off, but Thor changed it, which is better, because if your batteries ever get a little bit low, you have more power to run the slide more effectively. So with the engine running, you can retract your slide out, and this is a full wall. So we're going to demonstrate as it comes in here. The slide is closing, starting from just behind the driver's seat all the way to the back wall of the coach. A full wall slide. It's like having 3 slides in one. Your bedroom slide, your bunk bed slide, your kitchen slide, and your dinette slide. You can almost say it's like having 4 in one. It's a nice big slide out. Also, when you're running the slide out, the coach needs to be level. Now, I personally don't like auto leveling, because auto leveling will put 1 jack at a time until the coach is pretty level. I like doing left to right semi-auto leveling, because that way there's no chance of any twist in the coach. So if you level it on the left side to bring it up a little bit, on the right side to bring it a little bit, even if the front or rear is higher or lower, there's no twist in the coach. So that way when you bring this long slide in, you won't get any interference or conflict or funny sounds. So I do recommend only do a left to right leveling when you're moving the slide. If you feel that the coach isn't level after that, then the engine's running, retract the leveling jacks afterwards, and then re-level it so that it's level, so it feels level. That way you're going to have less conflicts with the slide out, because not every campsite is pretty level. You might just be parked on the side of a turnout in a scenic place, and you want to put the slide out and have lunch, and the coach is leaning like this, and you just want to bring the slide up on one side, bring the jacks up on one side and level it out so you can open the slide and have lunch. So that slide out information is general information for all full wall slide outs. And if you're buying this coach, you can consult this video to refresh your memory every year before you use it. Now there's 2 sources of heat for the water heater. You have propane water heat and 110 volt power water heat. This is a quick recovery water heater, 6 gallon. If you're camping on full hookup, turn both of them on. Or if you're, because if you can have 8 people in here taking nice long showers on full hookup, and you'll never run out of hot water and never run out of water, and your tanks will never be full if you're on full hookup and you have the gray tank valve open and flowing into the dump site. If you're in a primitive campsite with no generator and no power, the 110 volt won't heat your water, but the propane still will. If you are kind of a cheapskate and you don't like to spend propane, you can turn off the propane water heat and only use the campground water heat. But if you like to take long showers, you can use both. Take nice long showers. So that's what these controls do. There's a light switch here as well. There's light switches everywhere. I'm going to turn off the refrigerator. We're plugged in. It has a little plug element, but it has capability to do auto of electrical, forced propane, or auto. But we don't need the refrigerator on right now, so we're turning it back off. There's also storage over the refrigerator. So since we just closed the slide out, people like to know how much room there is to walk from front to back, and there's quite a bit. Another thing that you need to know is that we did reupholster the seats in the front seats, and the dinette, I'm sorry, not the dinette, the sofa had to be reupholstered. These newer coaches are having fabric issues where if you leave your blinds open and let the sun shine in when you're not using the coach, it can attack the material that the seats are made out of. So when we redo them after they've had a problem, it costs thousands of dollars to redo, but we're doing it with a marine grade vinyl, which is something like what you would use to do seats in your boat. If you have a boat, you would use marine vinyl to do the seats in your boat. They don't use real leather in motorhomes because it would take a lot of cows to put leather in motorhomes. So they use fake leather. They call it ultra leather because it's more economically more of a green way to do it. But it's very important to keep your curtains closed, keep the sun off your upholstery, so it lasts as long as possible if you're not using the coach. When you're using it, it doesn't matter so much. It's just when your coach is in storage during the winter or something like that, keep the sun off of it. Keep the blinds closed. It does have tinted windows, but it's important to keep all the window shades closed when not in use. There is a storage compartment right here where you can store shoes or mops or brooms. There's a mud room. This little black door, which you can barely see, they call it a mud room. So if you open this up, you can put your shoes in there, your dirty shoes, and then when you're done, you can access it this way and clean the compartment very easily so that you're not tracking all your filth into the RV. So you have a little mud room. That's what this is for putting your dirty shoes and stuff like that in that compartment. The flooring and everything is in really nice shape. All of the interior, exterior, everything looks fantastic on this Thor Ace 30.2. Again, there's more light switches for under cabinet lights, over the dinette lights. This turns on a vent fan over the cooking area. There's a little switch right there. It's a very nice configured motorhome. Remember, the slide is closed now. Jack and Jill style. Can still get in and sleep in the bed. When the slide is closed, you can't walk around the bed as easy, but you could fully access it if you needed to. So if somebody wanted to take a nap when you're driving down the road, they could get away with that. I point that out because some motorhomes, especially like Fleetwoods and others, the cabinets, to make the cabinets bigger, will go over the bed about 6 or 8 inches when the slide is closed. You don't have that going on in this motorhome. So there is enough to sleep someone in the queen bed when the road is being traveled. There's also storage cubbies in the bedroom. Storage, lots and lots of storage. Even behind the TV is storage. You can put your electronic gadgets and gizmos right there. There's power in there. Charge your plug-in items if you want, that when you're not using them. Keep them secured in the TV compartment. There's no flaws and no defects to point out in this coach. This was not a rental. This is a one owner, well-maintained, nice, clean, no odors, doesn't smell like pet, doesn't smell like dog, doesn't smell like anything. It smells like new motorhome smell. There's 2 sets of keys with this motorhome, and this has a giant screen. Let's go on a test run. So as I talk about this motor having an excellent turning radius, motorhome having excellent turning radius, the turning radius on a class A like this is better than on a C class. I'm going around the corner here. I'm not even turned all the way. I'm in this lane. If I want to make a full U-turn in this parking lot, maximum lock turn, as you can see, we're turning in a very narrow path. A C-class motorhome will make twice the diameter of a circle to make a U-turn. So yes, you can drive this into a cul-de-sac and make a U-turn. That's possible. As I shift into reverse using the wrong hand, I have a giant screen backup camera, a very large screen with a backup camera. Easy to see what's behind you on this giant, that's probably a 10-inch screen. If I put it in forward gear, and I apply a turn signal, then I get a side view camera view. There's 2 side view cameras in the mirrors. My preference, I wouldn't have put them in the mirror, but that's where they put them, and it does have side view cameras, so you can kind of see what's on your left side or your right side. As we go out of the parking lot onto the main street, I'm going to point out the transmission on these Ford F-53s. Now this one is a really nice one, and it still has the V10 engine. The newer ones, you can no longer get the V10. It's been discontinued on the motorhome chassis. But this one has the V10. It's 10 cylinders. It's a very smooth running engine. And this one has the newer 6-speed transmission, which continues on to the 23s, 24s, and 25s. So the new motorhomes have the same transmission as this one. It's a really nice transmission. So when you're driving up and down hills, it has more gears to go into, so the engine doesn't race. If you ever rode in a motorhome, say an older one like a 2003 with the Ford F-53 V8, I'm sorry, V10, those only had 4 speeds in the transmission, and then in 2004 they offered 5, but for 2016 they came out with a 6-speed transmission, which this one has. Right now the mileage odometer reading is 12,727. Now we did buy this in Dallas, Texas. We drove it to California. That's 1,500 miles, and then we serviced it, we cleaned it, and we're offering it for sale. It's in excellent condition. So we have driven it, we've test drove it 1,500 miles. We camped in it to see if everything's working, and then we added the solar system. The solar system will keep your battery charged at all times without plugging it in. If you do plug it in, you'll use less power from your shore power, because the solar is aiding in battery charging technology. And then there's power points everywhere. There's USB ports to charge your gizmos. There's really nice drink holders. The drink holders are much improved. I think they did that for 2019. Much larger, deeper drink holders, so your tumblers fit in the drink holder. This is a large cup, and it fits in there without flipping over and tossing around like some of the other drink holders do. It's a big improvement. Trying to find an RV that you could put a tumbler in the drink holder. This is one you can. Now, talking back more about the transmission, on the end of the shifter is a little button that activates this little orange light on the dash that says tow haul. When you're driving this motorhome in the mountains or going through switchbacks in the national park, you want to turn on tow haul mode. It's especially important when you're coming downhill. Tow haul mode will help you come down the hill and auto downshift your transmission for you. And if you're using tow haul mode, you'll use very little of your brakes. So the brakes on this motorhome, they don't squeak at all. If you forget and don't use tow haul mode and heat up your brakes coming down a hill and bake them, it's possible that you could have a squeaky brake situation. And you may encounter that in other motorhomes, but I always advise at all times when you're in mountain switchbacks, coming over mountain passes, engage that tow haul mode coming down. So as we go look underneath at the chassis, this is on the Ford F-53 chassis. That's your 80-gallon fuel tank, so you've got plenty of fuel to take your long trips. You've got your Goodyear tires. Tires have valve stem extenders, so you can always check your tire pressure without any huff or guff. Your rear suspension, springs, drive shaft, differential, everything looks good. Your exhaust system with the catalytic converter present and accounted for. Your front springs, your leveling jacks, the engine doesn't leak any fluids. The oil's been changed, it's really clean. That's your radiator, the bottom of it, your anti-roll stability bar, your steering, your front tires. They're all steering tires, so they give you good stable ride for an RV. And then leveling jacks, another look at the catalytic converter is present and accounted for. Your drive line, your exhaust with a tip painted black so it looks clean. Valve stem extenders on the wheels, Goodyear tires, mud flaps, differential, 80-gallon fuel tank, and leveling jacks. And that's the bottom of the generator, the 5,500 watt generator. Now as we get to the back, we have an 8,000 pound tow hitch with a 7-pin connector and also a 4-pin connector. See there? And you're ready to tow big trailer if you need to. Looks like it hasn't been used for towing yet. As we take a look at the cargo storage compartments again, this is your mega size compartment that fits folding tables and bicycles and things like that. This is the bottom of your water tanks, your water hoses, water dump position, your propane quick connect for exterior barbecue or gizmos, power points, 110 volt power outlets. That's the clean out for your mud room where you can put your shoes. This is your propane tank, onboard propane. They have cooking and heating wherever you go, and hot water as well. Your exterior TV, which I showed you earlier. Your electrical room with your RV batteries and your hydraulic leveling jack control unit. And a little attachment, if you have a dog, you can connect the dog leash right there. That's your doggy window. That's your chrome mirrors, that's your side view cameras. Up on the front we have LED eyebrows. That's an eyebrow, that's a LED eyebrow that comes on at night. It glows in the dark. And then on the other side, we'll look in the cargo compartment. Lots of storage. These are big lighted compartments. You have lots of room to put stuff outside. And they're all clean. They're really clean. Not like other RVs you may look and these are all dirty. Look, on the top of that cargo compartment is a pass-through where you can put long folding tables in there. And then this is additional with a pass-through to the other side, so you have fishing poles or folding tables can fit in there. This is your 50 amp power cord. That power connection looks the same as you would have for like a Tesla level 2 connector, and it has an exterior power point and a TV connection. This keeps critters from crawling up your power cords and getting into the RV because they have a separate exterior connection. And this is your water tank hookup and outside shower in that compartment. 5,500 watt generator. Notice that the Thor Aces, most of them don't have this nice generator. They have this smaller, noisier 4,000, but this has got the quieter 5,500 watt generator. The power awning is height adjustable. Before I go all the way up, it has a little button tabs right here that you can push and then stick it into these other slots for a different angle on your awning to be higher or lower. As we extend the awning out, it's extremely clean. It has an LED light strip in it. And the awning is extremely clean. Very good condition, just like a 2020 should look. Super clean awning, no problems, and it power extends, it power retracts, and it's height adjustable. As we power it back in, just goes right in without resistance. It fades to black, so when it's rolled up it appears black, but it's a nice color that matches the exterior of the motorhome. So my name is Mike Johnson. I really appreciate you watching my video. See if you can like and subscribe to my channel so you get the latest updates. My channel on YouTube is My Best Car without the dot, and our website is spelled exactly the same, mybestcar.com with a dot. On Google search mybestcar.com, on YouTube no dot. The company name is A Buyer's Choice. So if you're buying this motorhome and you're watching this video and you want to pay the proper place, your check should be written to the order of A Buyer's Choice. My name is Mike Johnson. We offer RV sales, service, and parts in Southern California. You can call 951-681-2101 between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thank you for watching.